Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about modifications to my van. I've been very busy doing several modifications all around the van, different areas. Some are to do with storage, some are to just do with making my life easier, neatening things up, all things that I can do that don't cost me any money. So what I'll do is I'll take you around the van and I'll show you each individual modification. And if any of those ideas are helpful to you and you can have them to your van, then great. Some of them you may not think, well, that's not really for me. That's fine. For me, it works really well. I'm really pleased with what I've done. But if it does help you, then all the better. Right, I'm going to start off with this part of my sort of wardrobe unit section. Everybody has something similar to this with a tambour door. Yours may be slightly different, but this is what mine is. And it's basically, I have a light that comes on under there automatically. It's just on a sensor. And you can see there that I've got it organised into different shelving areas. Now, I'm going to do a separate video on this because I think it's worthy of it. As you can see, the light just dims there. There's a lot going on in there as regards the shelving, and a lot that you can't see. There's some deeper down there, but it's definitely worth a completely separate video. So basically, I wanted an area of storage in there that I could use that was modular, depending on the kind of trip that I might be going on. So like I say, we're going to do a separate video on that, but it's definitely worth watching because there's quite a lot going on. This project took me quite a while, and it evolved over time. But I will put another video up about this at a later date. Okay, so that's my first modification, which involves a lot of little modifications, and we'll come back to that later on in the year. But yeah, that'll be coming up shortly, that video, so look out for that one. Right, modification number 2. Now this one is pretty straightforward really. Took me a little bit of time, it was a little bit fiddly, but well worth doing. Now basically I have my little magnetic phone holder, which is just on a suction pad there. It's a little bit wackery because this is a bit, you know, it's not solid, but it works well. I put my phone on there. Obviously I can't do it because I'm using it to film. And then my charger lead would have come down here. It used to sort of go across here, plug into my USB outlet there. I've done a separate video on that. If you want to see that one, I'll put a link up. Really useful this. The kids use this one and I obviously use that one. And the lead used to wrap round here, you'd wrap it around here and tag it. It was just annoying me. So as you can see there, what I've done is I've used these little inserts. I've just drilled a hole in one of those and I found these rubber grommets. The only ones I could find were these ones with these little sort of caps on. Obviously I can't shut that when the cable's in, and I'm never going to take the cable out, but it's the only ones I could find. So little rubber grommet in there. I just fed the cable through the back of the dash. I managed to find some of that flexi sort of conduit just to protect the cable behind the dashboard, and I just did exactly the same here, fed it out. So now my phone will just plug in there and it just neatens it up, and it's really great, really useful. They do just push in a little bit if need be. You can actually hear the corrugated conduit behind there. But that has tidied up the dashboard, and I find that one really useful, really easy to do. Like I say, it's just a little bit fiddly. But that's modification number 2. Now then, you may have just seen a sneak preview of what I've been doing for modification number 3. And no, it's not this little plant, which I absolutely love. It's absolutely, it was £2.50 I think from B&M Bargains, but I absolutely love it. It's artificial, obviously, but it's in a little cork pot, and it just fits nicely in there. This is just a power bank that I plug into here, and that's charging up all the time, and then the kids can use that when they go out wherever they need to go. It's just an extra little charging point. This is my Bluetooth music sort of adapter that I plug in there because I don't have a fancy stereo, and that just Bluetooths to my phone. But that's not the modification. The modification is this. Now then, I've seen several people having a go at making these. These are, I think they're called seat shelves. Colin from Yorkshire Pop Tops, he made one, and I've seen a few other videos of people making them as well. I had time on my hands, I had some pieces of wood in the garage, and I thought, do you know what, just because I have nothing to do, I'll just have a go at making one. So that's what I did. Again, as always with my projects, they evolve over time. I've had to this is actually shower board. It's what you have in your showers instead of tiles. It's sort of plywood with like a smooth finish on it. On the other side, I think it's, I don't know, I think it's like a marble effect, but on this side it was white. So you can see there, I've contoured it to the seats. I've done the same on the other side. I've just attached it to a piece of the same kind of board. I've fixed these little strips on the side just to give it an edge so nothing slides off. And then I had some of this rubber matting that I've got in my slide out drawer that's on my rock and roll bed under storage. Cut that to size, fit that in there. Now I'll just show you, when you take this out, this lifts out really easy, by the way. It just lifts up. You just obviously have to take these out, push that back in, and it just lifts straight out. On mine, on the T5, because I've seen others, they go into here or other parts of the dash, but on mine, the fuse box down there, there's a little, you can just see it, there's a little lip which I've made, you can just see there, that just fit into that lip. But I then found that I couldn't open this with that full, so what I've had to do is just make a little cut out there. I can just stick my fingers under there and just pop that open and then set it all back up again. So yeah, I decided to make it, and it fit in. What I might do is I might carpet this, although it looks alright because I've got a white van, so it does match, but these, it's like, although I've sanded the wood underneath, it rubs a little bit and it just leaves a little mark, but it's not too bad. But I might carpet that just to give it a bit more cushioning when it's sat on the seat. But as it is, it's all right. But yeah, like I say, I just made it and I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. That, I tell you what, that is one of the most useful things that I've ever made. I'm constantly using it. It's great for sunglasses. I can just put my because I wear glasses when I'm driving, but sometimes I need the sunglasses, so I have them set out on here and I can just swap and change as the sun goes in and out. When I've been shopping, I can put my wallet on there. You can see I've got my keys on there. I'm just messing around with this spirit level at the moment, so that's why that's there. It's so useful, I can't believe it. I never take it out now, and if I do ever need to have the kids in the front and people in the back, this just lifts out dead easy and I can just store it in the back. Very lightweight, and it's just brilliant. So I would definitely advise or recommend having a go at making one of these. It's a nice little project, and like I say, I find it really useful. So that's the seat shelf modification number 3. Right, modification number 4. Really simple one, this. You've all seen these before. These are the sort of cargo net with the little plastic trim around the edge, and you can just fit them wherever you like. I've already got one inside the van, but what I decided to do was just put a couple of these on the insides of the doors. And I've just got this. This is really good, actually. It's one of them wash mitts. I got it from Tesco, and I just use it when I'm parked up somewhere and I'm waiting for the kids to come out of the shops or something. I can just stick that on my hand and just give the van a bit of a wipe down if there's any dust on there or splashes of mud or anything like that. I can just wipe it off quickly, and just stuffs back in there, and when it gets really dirty I'll just stick it in the washing machine. So yeah, I find that really useful. It was only about £4, I think. So I've got one there, and I've got one there. Again, just a handy little storage area. I mean, I can take these off and put them elsewhere and you won't even know the screw holes are there. This is just plywood. So I've got 2 of those. So that's that modification. Really simple, really quick to do. You've all seen them. I will put a link down in the description, but I think you've seen these all before. But this one moves on to modification number, what are we up to now? 5. You can see there I've got a 12-volt plug and lead, and that goes up to this working light, LED light, which I've had in nearly all my cars that I've had. This is always in the boot just in case I ever need it, and it's basically like an inspection lamp. It's got a little hook on the end. But what I decided to do was this is just Velcro strip, really cheap to buy. I've used like a plastic screw cup there, and then a washer, and then a screw, and I've just screwed that Velcro into there, and that just fits on there. So I can take that off if I need it, or I can leave it there and I can angle it down. It does twist when you loosen the Velcro. If I need to work in this area at night for whatever reason, maybe getting the spare wheel out from under there, I can just switch that on and it gives me a bit of extra light. When the door is shut, that light is then in this area, and then I've got an extra light inside the sort of living space. So that's another use for it. So simple modification again, but you can see there, that's my little sign that I put up when I parked up at a campsite. I need to drive off, I can just stick that in the ground and people know that I've bagsied that camp spot. That's what that is. So this plugs in to modification number 6, which is this. I've added this 12-volt auxiliary outlet just in case I need a 12-volt auxiliary outlet at the back of the van. But the idea being, when I go paddleboarding, I've got an electric pump which I can plug in inside the van. Just round the corner there I've got another one of those. So if I want to inflate the paddleboard at the side of the van, I can. But if I want to do it at the back, I can just plug it into there and use it there. But again, I can use that light or anything else I might want to plug in there. So that was a nice little project which I ran the cables. Excuse my camera work here so I can try and show you. Where are we? There. You can just see the cables. I've had to cut out this board, which is just foam board again, that I love using because it's so lightweight and so sturdy. So them cables, twist you back round, then just run to the back there, you can just see them, and then they go up that conduit, up that conduit, and then into my electric sort of area in my cupboard that's in the back of there. So that's what that was. So that was that modification. Again, I told you I've done a lot of mods. Yeah, again, here is another modification. In here was just that on the floor. Now this is probably, you're going to say this is a little bit overkill, and it probably is, but I did it anyway. In there was just this, and it all looked a bit, I don't know how to pronounce, I don't know how to explain it. It just looked as though this cupboard was plonked on top of here and this just carried on through, which it did. And I just didn't like it. And because I put this in, I needed to protect that in some way, so that's why I've done all this. So basically what I've done is I've battened out in here, so it's, you know, equidistant all the way across. I've backfilled it with insulation, foam and insulation, just to give it a bit of extra insulation. Again, probably overkill, but I did it anyway. And then I've just cut this foam board to size, and that just fits in there. And I do have plans. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do with this area yet, but you can see it's cavernous. It's a really big space, so I've still got loads of room in there for putting awnings, and when I eventually can afford to buy them will go in there. And I'm going to give you a sneak preview of the cupboard video that's going to be up and coming. This is part of it. I'll say no more, but you can see there I've got a cavernous space, but I've still got up there, which I will show you in a future video, so definitely look out for that one. So that's another modification I've done. Like I say, all these modifications have cost me little or no money, because it's stuff I've already had in the garage, and it's just been time and thought. Which brings me on to the last modification, I think. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. This could be the penultimate one. So I think there's quite a bit of talk about this on the forums, about how people store their bedding. A lot of people have the rock and roll beds, which have these sort of little small shelf seat areas, which a lot of people put all their bed in. I was the same, but I would find that when I go in there to get the bed in, I open the barn doors and all this lot just collapses on the floor. So I decided to install a cargo net. Basically, I've got these little sort of connector lug things that you just loop the cargo net over. This is obviously bungee. I initially just stuck that on there with the sticky pads that it comes with, which are very strong, but when this is under tension, that just popped off. So I've basically just put a little bolt through there, so that's never coming off. So that one's on there. I've got a similar one on this side, which just screws into the plyboard, and then underneath I've got one there and one there, and that just attaches onto there. It holds everything in place. You can cram quite a lot in there. I've got a single duvet and 2 pillows there, but when you fold the bed down, this stays in place obviously, and then all your bedding just flops down onto the bed, and then you can just set it all up how you need it, and it works really well. If I do ever need to, and I'll leave that in situ, because when I finished at night and I'm ready for packing up, I can just fold the bed back up, fold the duvet and the pillow, and it all just, when you lift the bed back up into its seated position, all this just collapses into place, and just it just goes there itself, and you don't have to do anything. You can just give it a bit of a pat just to get it flat, but you don't really need to, and then you can just shut the doors and away you go. But obviously this comes off really quick, and the cargo net can be stored in one of the cubby holes anywhere you like, really. But yeah, works really well, really cheap. These are, I think, are about a tenner, something like that, depending on which one you get. Again, I will put a link in the description down below, but very useful, and a very cheap and easy DIY modification to your van. Right, the final modification in this video is the sort of panelling on the front of my rock and roll bed storage area. Prior to this, I had this kind of stuff, which is plyboard, furniture board, which was fitted on there, screwed to the framework of the rock and roll bed, and there was a door sort of here, which wasn't that, I mean, it should have been a full-size door, so you could access that area easily and get things out easily. The door was really quite narrow, and I just found it pointless, really. I don't have a lot of storage behind this area, because obviously this slide-out drawer fits in there, but there is a little bit. So what I decided to do was fit a sort of a batten across the bottom, which is secured and carpeted, as you can see, and then this panel here is my favourite foam board. Again, lightweight and very sturdy, relatively cheap. And basically all I've done is, as you can probably hear, I've just fitted magnets. I've sunk them into the foam board. I've used a hole cutter, cut the right size hole, sunk the magnets in, stuck some foil tape over. Same at that side. This strip is just to sort of strengthen it slightly so it doesn't bend too much. Carpeted, and then you can see there, you can see the back of the drawer system there. but I've still got that bit of storage area there which I could put a few bits and pieces in. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to fit certain items into certain areas, but I don't just want to say, right, there's a space, fill that with A, B or C. I'm going to wait until I've got A, B and C and think, oh, where could that go, and then fit it in a really suitable place. I always know where it is and I know it's going to fit perfect, and I can just modify the area as I tend to do. You can see there I've modified that just to fit that. So that's what I try and do as I'm going along. So it's an ongoing process. But this is really lightweight, and that just fits on there and then clips on dead easy. So that's the final modification of the video. What I will say is I'm just going to show you a sneak preview of something that's up and coming. I'm just going to sneak up and we're just going to show you a little sneak preview there. Oh, that might be a bit too much. I'll just go over to this side and yeah, that's why I'm just going to show you that. But again, that's another up and coming video, as is this area here. This is my under sink and hob storage area, as everybody has in their camper van. But I'm going to be making big alterations to this, not just here but here as well on top, as I've done in a previous video, which definitely divided opinion. I think this is going to do exactly the same. This is certainly going to divide opinion, but I'm doing things to my van that suits me and makes my life easier. Might not be for everybody, but yeah, this is another modification I'm going to be doing in another future video. So again, look out for that one. Right, well, that's it for today. Quite a few modifications there. Like I say, these last 3 or 4 weeks, probably longer actually, I've been really busy doing all these modifications. I'm really pleased with them. Some of them really simple, very straightforward. Some of them, like the cupboard area, which I'm going to be doing the separate video on, that took me quite a while and is even still evolving to this day, and it will evolve over time. But that took me a lot of time to do. But they're all jobs that you can just do at your leisure in your spare time, and they just make living in your van and going away in your van more pleasurable, a lot easier to keep everything organised, and I think very, a valuable asset to your van. So I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, then please do hit that subscribe button down below. At the time of filming this, I am so close to 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe I've got this far. I really appreciate your support, and I think I'm about 12 subscribers off. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. And if I could hit that 1,000, it means so much to me and make it all worthwhile, really. So yeah, like I say, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.